Hello. Hey. How's it going, y'all? How's it going? What's up? Hey, Mom. Guess what, y'all? We're about to do a special live. My mom's coming in just a second. We are going to be talking about the business lessons. Hey, Mama. We're going to be talking about some business lessons we took from the series Self-Made.
Yeah.
Welcome, y'all. This is my mom.
Hello, everyone.
So we'll do an intro, and Mom, you can start. Tell people who you are.
Well, I'm Jackie's mom.
And
my name is Cheryl Monroe. I am a cosmetologist for 35 years. I am the owner of Javon's Hair Boutique in Slidell, Louisiana, and we have been in business for June 29th will be 26 years. So we're super excited about that.
So my mom is an entrepreneur. For those of you who don't know, I grew up working in her shop.
Mm-hmm.
Sweeping the floors, answering the phones.
And the best shampoo person you could ever get.
Don't tell my sister that. So this is going to be a special episode of the podcast. We're talking about lessons we learned from the series Self-Made. And just a quick introduction of myself. I'm Jacqueline Twillie. I am the president at ZeroGap.co, the training and development firm for women leaders in male-dominated industries. So, hello, everyone joining us. I wanted to, before we get started into our lessons, to share with y'all this book that I read about 5 years ago. This book, on her own ground, this is what the original series was based off of, and this book actually has a lot of factual information in it, and you will find it very entertaining and juicy. It's a good read, but we're going to be inside until April 30th at least, so go ahead and get the book. The new cover doesn't look like this. I think the new cover on Amazon has the characters from the show on the cover. All right, so hey y'all, welcome.
Hello.
So for those of you who haven't seen Self-Made, the series on Netflix, you might want to come back to the live because this is going to be a spoiler alert. We're about to talk about the business lessons.
And y'all just may hear my dog barking. Yeah, she likes to play.
That Chosnick is in the background, y'all. All right. So I have 10 lessons that I took from the series. How many did you get, Mom?
Well, I have 5.
Okay, cool. Well, we might have some overlap. I'll give one and you can give one. We'll go like that, okay?
Sounds good.
And if y'all watch Self-Made, let us know. Type in yes if you have seen Self-Made on Netflix. If you haven't, let us know that too. Okay, you can go first, Mom.
I thought you were going to go first, darling.
Okay, I'll go first. The first business lesson that I took from Self-Made is creating something new or improved requires grit. Ideas are great, but execution is the secret to success. So throughout the series, she had a lot of hurdles that she had to overcome, and she never gave up, which is why I said grit is what it takes, and execution is a secret to success. Because in the series, it showed other people trying to imitate her, but they were not successful.
Well, one of the things that I took away, and that is so true, and I think we are going to overlap a little bit here. One of the things that I took away from the Self-Made show was that she was a dreamer. She dreamed about having a business. Not only did she dream about it, but she also prepared herself for it. In the very first series, you could see when the dream started developing itself, where she was actually sitting down in a chair and she was reading a book about business. So she prepared herself for where she wanted to go.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point, Mom. We are talking about Self-Made, the series, and the business lessons that we learned from that. Some people are writing, and Monique has seen Self-Made. If y'all have seen Self-Made, go ahead and comment below. So my number 2 lesson that I took from it is self-confidence is contagious. It allows a leader to have greater empathy. When she believed in herself, she was able to get her family members to come on board and work for her in her business. And even her daughter let her test the products on her hair in the show. So
Yes.
Self-confidence, if you believe in yourself, that's going to spill over to other people believing in you as well.
And one takeaway I've got in that particular area was never let someone opinion of you define who you are. The young lady that was initially doing her hair and helped her to get her hair to grow back, told her she was nothing more than, just a field hand, even if she was dressed up. But she didn't let that deter her from the dream that was on the inside of her. So she just kept plugging right away. So never allow anyone, to define who you are.
That's right. So for those of y'all joining us, we are discussing Self-Made, the show on Netflix. So, all right. The next thing that I wrote down, Mom, was it takes a team to achieve greatness and to surround yourself with people who uplift you. So I was thinking about the scene in the series where she wasn't doing the work. She was walking around telling her family members what to do. Are you doing this? You doing a great job on this. And then there's another scene where she went in and when they opened the hair salon and she was walking around and she said, you do this and you do this. And they were busy and she still wasn't doing the work. She was being the boss.
Absolutely. Well, that was her position.
Yes.
And she knew her position. And I think she probably knew her position because, like I said a few moments ago, not only did she have the dream of having a business, but she educated herself. So you have to know your position. And her position was the owner of the company. So therefore, she didn't have to run around and just do everything, have her hands in all the pots. She had a power team, and her power team was her family.
Yes.
And they worked it.
That's right.
We're talking about her today. We're discussing the Self-Made series right now because, she had a power team.
That's right. What's next on your list, Mom?
Well, what's next on my list is something that you talked about a little bit earlier. The adversities that came her way, the challenges of people that were, directly in competition with her, bold in her face. She didn't let adversity stop her. She just kept plugging away. One of the things that I thought was so interesting is that she had her vision in front of her and she didn't let anything deter her from her vision. She didn't get sidetracked. It kind of remind me of Halloween when you go into a haunted house and you're jumping from one side to the other. She didn't jump from one side to the other. She knew exactly where she was going, and that was all the way through.
I like that, Mama. That's a good analogy. To piggyback on that, my fourth lesson from the Self-Made series is self-efficacy is the antidote to imposter syndrome and a catalyst to innovation. I have a series, a workshop that's called Executive Presence for Women Leaders. And the third tip in that is self-efficacy is the antidote to imposter syndrome. And the definition of self-efficacy is belief in oneself. So going back to what you said was her vision. So she had thoughts that she couldn't do it, and she had thoughts sometimes that she wasn't enough, but she kept digging deep. And they give these split screens throughout the series of her in a boxing ring. And
Correct.
the way she overcame those negative thoughts was her self-efficacy, the belief in herself to get it done.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing that I pulled from that, which is so important, I believe in business, and this is something that, you know, that I actually practice a lot in business, and I think it was something that helped me to be successful all these 26 years. Um, it was, she said in there in the movie, you know, when we come up, you know, we all come up together. When we look good, we all look good together. We all look respectful together. And so even in business, I thought that was a really good point that she made, because I'm not trying to get there by myself. She wasn't trying to get there by herself. She wanted everybody to look good. She wanted everybody to have hair that was manageable, you know. And so I thought that was an excellent principle throughout, you know, having business, you know, pull somebody else up with you.
Yes. Hi, Lakanya. Welcome. We are sharing our business lessons from the series Self-Made. So I just shared my fourth tip. My fifth tip is control your narrative and write your own leadership story. So she was very savvy, and she knew the power of telling her story. From the very beginning, when she knew she could sell the product, she went out and she started telling people, this is what my experience was, and this is how I overcame it. So that was my fifth lesson from the series. So you can share your next lesson that you got.
Well, my next one was, you know, the power of networking. You know, she wanted to get to Booker T. Washington. And, you know, she made the right connections to get to him, but not only to get to him, but to give her pitch, even though he stood her up in the end, but she still made those connections. So networking is so key in your success. Yes. And she knew that. She knew she needed his endorsement.
Yes.
Because, you know, yeah, because, you know, even with the scene where she had all of the investors that were there, and they thought it was a bit too risky because nobody really endorsed her. So she went after the head person that she knew that if he endorsed her, it would take her business a long way. So that's a good point and a good lesson for all of us to learn, is to keep plugging. I mean, you know, make those connections. Don't be afraid. She was not afraid. She was a bold lady.
Yep.
You know, and it looked like, and I know you said this a few minutes earlier, it looked like she may have been doubting herself in certain places, but baby, when she got herself together and pulled back her shoulders, put her high heels on, she was unstoppable. And that's one thing I absolutely loved about her. She had the eye of the tiger.
That's right, Mama.
She had the eye of the tiger, and she went for it.
Yes, she did. You right. Anytime she started doubting herself, she pulled herself out of it. She didn't wallow in the self-doubt.
That's right. That's right. Keep moving.
Yes. So
I preached a sermon a couple of weeks ago. Keep it moving, and she kept it moving.
She sure did. Even when her competitor was in her face when her place burned down, and came to her property and started inviting, well, pretty much trying to steal her customers, she stayed focused. And she was dealing with a crisis. We're dealing with the COVID crisis right now. She literally, her house was burning down, and she saw her competitor, and she said, no, I'm going to take care of my business.
Exactly.
Yep.
She sure did. I mean, and that's just the focus. That's just the eye of the tiger.
Yep.
You know, and to that point, you don't allow anything to fester.
Yep.
You know, you don't allow anything to fester. And she saw that she was trying to come take advantage of the situation, and she immediately nipped that thing in the bud.
Yep.
And that's a good principle too. If you see some smoke starting to get stirred up, you got to go ahead on and put the water on it, put that thing out.
That's right. So my next lesson that I took from this is focus on adding value versus worrying about what others will say about you. Back to nipping it in the bud. She, at some point, she thought, oh, she's moving to the city that I moved to. She's trying to take my customers. And she didn't let that overtake her. She focused on adding value. She focused on adding additional services and serving her clients, even thinking about the packaging of her products. So she had, like you said, the eye of the tiger, the tunnel vision of this was my dream of what my business would be. And instead of me worrying about what other people will say or my competitors, I'm going to stay focused on the vision I have.
Absolutely. And you know what else? With that scene right there, when she says she's coming here, she's going to take my business. She's moving, 1,000 miles to come here to take my business. One thing with the power team that you are surrounded with, her daughter was one of the people who was on her power team. And her daughter immediately started building her up. She started encouraging her. So it's so important to have a power team that have your back, that when you are having a low moment, that they can really lift you up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oprah says, surround yourself with the people who push you to be the highest and grandest version of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So what's your next lesson that you have written down, Ma?
Well, actually, I'm out of them.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you my next one. Stand in your success and bring others up with you, which is what you said earlier. I've also taken that lesson from it. And my next lesson is time alone provides space for clarity. Self-care is critical to leadership growth. So there was a couple of scenes where she went on a walk, and then there was the one scene where she got on the bicycle and she just started riding and having fun. And when she finished that scene, she had more confidence because she had took that time to unwind. So if you stay wound up all the time and you don't give yourself a chance to recharge, it's like when your cell phone battery goes dead. If you don't recharge it, it's no good. So she recharged herself.
Absolutely. That's an excellent point, because I was thinking about, as she was building, they relocated and they had all these products that were going on. She had the beauty salon that was going. Everything was going great. And so what I'm going to say now is just to have balance. Because they're in the scene where her husband was washing the woman's hair. After that scene, he was trying to get her to let's go out and have a steak and have a glass of wine or whatever. But she was so focused on the business until she forgot or wasn't aware of what he was saying, that he was trying to spend some quality time with her. The business was growing, the business was doing well, but you still have to have balance even though your business is doing great.
And to that point, you have to celebrate your wins. Like we say, it's winning season. So when it's winning season, you can stay focused, but you can take breaks also to celebrate your success and to do it with the people who built you up, because we didn't really see in the series her celebrating with her team until the very end of the series. But in the actual book, she did show appreciation and gratitude to her team members. And she was a social, in real life, she was a social butterfly. So that was a great point, Mom, the balance.
Oh, yeah, you have to have balance.
So my next point here is tough decisions will come up. Be aware of the advisors that you consult with and create a legacy plan. So thinking towards the end of the series of Self-Made, where she finds out her diagnosis and she realizes she's not going to have much longer to live, she kept it to herself for a little bit instead of initially bringing her team on to ensure that they would keep the business going and carry on the legacy. So, but she finally consulted with her lawyer, her trusted advisor, and her daughter, and they were able to put a plan together. So the big thing here is, as most of us know, the company no longer exists the way it was. The new CJ Walker company is owned by Rich Dennis, who is the founder of Shea Moisture and the current owner of Essence Magazine and Essence Festival. Rich Dennis, when this Self-Made was coming out, he bought the company rights, and now the products are available at Sephora, but she didn't have a legacy plan. This legacy plan that Rich Dennis has, he bought her previous mansion, and he's turning that into an incubator for women entrepreneurs. But that's his legacy plan for her. She was really focused on her legacy, but she did not have a plan in place. And so when her lawyer passed away, soon after, the company kind of went down a few years after.
Absolutely. You have to have a plan. And again, that's all in the power team. You know, all in the power team. You have to have that power team, you know, to make all of those little pieces work together. It's just like a big puzzle. And, you know, you have some that you have to know your strengths and you have to know your weakness. And yes, she was building a legacy, and she did build the legacy, because we're talking about it tonight.
Right.
But on the other end, you know, you have to have that power team to just make everything flow smoothly.
Yep. And my last point, my last lesson that I took from this is never give up, because even in her last days, she did not give up.
Absolutely. The eye of the tiger.
Yes.
It was her winning season, and she knew it.
She knew it.
So even with, I know the winning season is something that you're kind of focusing on for 2020. And even in the winning season, you're going to have those ups and downs. But this lady was an absolute dreamer. Yes. And she was going to win absolute, no matter what. And for all of you all who have joined on tonight, I know that you guys are winners too. I just want to let you all know that I believe in you, you know. I believe that you all are winners, and you're going to have winning seasons in 2020, even with COVID-19, because this is a perfect time where we can sit down and strategize and get our plan together. So whenever we come off of lockdown, we can get off the floor running.
Yep.
We can get off the floor running. Our plan should be so airtight until, you know, nothing shake us, just like it didn't shake her.
That is a good point, Mom. I appreciate that. Do we have any comments that you see on your end?
No, I don't see any.
Okay. So if you have any comments from the Self-Made series, you can definitely comment below. Send us a message. For the hairstylists that are watching, my mom shared that she's been in business for 26 years, doing hair for 35 years. She has a wealth of knowledge. She's mentored lots of salon owners and cosmetologists, getting them from booth renting to owning their own salons. She is available for consultations. So if you would like to schedule some time with her, you can send her a DM at Jacqueline's Hair Boutique on Instagram or on Jacqueline's Hair Boutique on Facebook to schedule a consultation. And she's offering a discount, Self-Made, so you will get $50 off your $179 consultation when you mention that you heard her on the podcast talking about Self-Made. And for those of you who are in leadership development, you want to find out more about my courses, whether it's the winning season lessons that we teach or the negotiation strategy, you can head over to zerogap.co for more information on that. So thanks for joining us for this special edition of Live, the very first time I have had my mom on a live and the first time that she's been a guest on the Power Banking Winning Season podcast. So thanks, Mom. All right, y'all, until next time, continue to emulate excellence.